What up, everyone? This is Hoskins here. Welcome to another episode of Role Players. Today we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff, a lot of football, all about the Steelers, Big Ben. We're going to talk about Doug Peterson getting fired in Philadelphia, Super Bowl previews, playoffs rundown, all the good stuff, Baker Mayfield and his commercials, a little NBA talk. But before we get to today's episode, I just wanted to say we did record this Monday, as usual for us, and Monday night, Alabama rolled... It's a pun, you get it? Rolled over the Ohio State Buckeyes. Wanted to throw that in there. We didn't know when we recorded that. And we did not know yet that Bill Belichick declined the Medal of Freedom that he was offered. But everything else should be just about up to relevant. Enjoy this episode. Let's do it. Okay, so I'm here with Long now. We're virtually talking. He's in South Carolina, as you guys know. I'm in Los Angeles. We are recording this part of the podcast on Monday, January 11th. It's good to be joined by you, Long, because I never see anybody anymore. So seeing you on a computer screen is pretty great. What's up, man?
I'm stress eating.
Stress eating. Does that have anything to do with last night's game with your beloved Steelers?
Yes, it has everything to do with that. We gave up 28 points in the first quarter. If you hear random crunching, it's me eating chickpea puffs because I'm stress eating.
Man, you better not get the... Hey, man, you make that quick and only a bit, all right? Because if I have to go edit all your chewing, man, it's going to be in my ears all night. I miss you, but not that much. We're gonna get to your Steelers later. You know, I know it's a sensitive subject, but... You know, I understand that's the reason you're stress eating. Any other reasons that you may be stress eating? Anything else happened since we talked last?
I can't think of anything. I feel like maybe someone tried to burn down the United States Capitol Hill, but...
Oh, maybe someone did. Yes. Let me just be clear. The only Patriots that I know of have been eliminated from playoff contention, because I know they sure as hell weren't in Washington, D.C. Those were what we call... terrorist. Yeah, it's crazy. I grew up in the Bush administration, but I still know what a terrorist is. Okay, we're going to move on away from politics. Please go get some real news sources from that and stay away from QAnon and Reddit. Just go to real news, like anywhere that's not in America. Look at that for your news. Okay, so I'm going to segue into the most news topic we're going to cover today for our warm-ups. Me. Long, the NBA right now, we're about 2-3 weeks into the season, and we've got some issues as far as COVID is concerned. The 76ers playing with very limited players. They actually did not cancel their game the other day. I think they had about 7-8 players.
Yeah, I remember Doc Rivers joking that Dwight was going to have to play point guard.
That's not a funny joke, I don't think, for Sixers fans.
No.
And the Sixers got off to a really hot start. Obviously, first priority is people's safety. But this seems to be a problem for more than just the Sixers. Jonas Valanciunas left the Memphis game last night early with the same thing that happened with Seth Curry. I know you were taken aback by what happened with Seth Curry.
Yeah, I mean, the man's sitting on the bench, and then next thing you know, he's getting pulled because tested positive.
Right, and he's on the bench. So same thing happened with Jonas Valanciunas last night. And just to put this into context,
I didn't see that game. Was Jonas on the bench or was he playing?
Who the fuck saw that game?
Yeah, who was watching that?
We have football all day, and then you want me to watch Memphis? I mean, I watched some of the Lakers, Rockets, and we'll get to some other NBA scores. But Memphis, come on.
Yeah, who watches Memphis when Ja Morant's not playing?
We've gotten a little desensitized to the COVID stuff, watching football this year, watching the World Series champion be on the field without a mask. But to put this into context, I want you guys to think about when COVID first started and the NBA shut down. Rudy Gobert got that test, and the whole game shut down. So this is the equivalent to Rudy Gobert being in the game, them playing half the game, and instead of shutting it down, just continuing. Saying,
they pulled him at halftime, so he played 14 minutes.
So he has sweat on the court.
And he touched the ball that other people touched.
So
with his sweaty hands.
did he get pulled for contact tracing or for a test?
It says he got pulled for health reasons due to safety protocol.
Oh, that's right. The NBA is actually not allowed to publicly say because of
the big thing is he's not
restrictions.
positive.
Okay, well,
but it's an abundance of caution.
Did they say that for sure? Because Michael Porter Jr. was pulled for contact tracing. He was out, and then they said he was out for originally he was out for I think 7 days, and then he was out for 14 days, and they didn't say that it was because of COVID positive.
Grizzlies Taylor Jenkins says that he's not positive, but it's an abundance of caution.
Okay. Well, hopefully that's true.
For those of you that don't know, just like me, because I don't know much about the Grizzlies, Taylor Jenkins is the Grizzlies coach. Didn't know that.
Actually, a good coach.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know his name.
Okay, next warm-up topic. I'm going to stay with the NBA. This definitely got overlooked. We're talking about who watched the Memphis game. Well, last night, the Oklahoma City Thunder, predicted by many to be the worst team in the league, not by the role players here. We didn't know how, but we thought they were going to be scrappy. And they were scrappy last night because they beat the Brooklyn Nets in some very interesting retro blue and red uniforms. 129-116. Kevin Durant playing his former team. Obviously, that's the big story here. That's why I threw it in. But KD, he played pretty great. He had 36, 11 rebounds, 4 assists. Long.
Yeah.
What's up with the Nets? They didn't have Kyrie in this game. They started off looking invincible. Are they for real?
I think they got some growing pains to figure out. I think they'll figure it out. I think they'll definitely be a playoff team. I'm not going to overreact on this. But what I will say is, I mean, the Thunder are going to overperform. They've done it before. They continue to do that. I mean, you have Al Horford, who put up 22 points. You had Diallo, who put up 25.
He played so well last night, man, off the pick and roll. I was like, you have handle like that? I think the main concern, if you're the Nets, is what we thought going in, defense. Can they really defend day in and day out? It's probably going to get better in the playoffs, but I don't know. I thought an interesting thing from last night, I could see George Hill, who now plays for the Thunder, being on the Nets roster at the end of the season.
That would be interesting. All right. I don't think you got to count the Nets out. I think that, they're still a good team. They have really good players. I think Karis LeVert is a solid player. He put up, 21 last night, and then the game before 40-something.
He's balling.
I like him. I like him a lot. And I think that they low-key have a big three being built if Karis LeVert can get consistent.
And Steve Nash sold him on that Manu Ginobili role before the season. So I could see him doing that and then parlaying that into a big contract. I hope that man gets paid. Okay, let's move on.
Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow red.
So our next warm-up before we get into all the NFL action this weekend and looking ahead to the rest of the playoffs, the other huge NFL storyline, it's going to change the league as we know it, is Deshaun Watson reportedly wanting out of Houston.
I thought we were talking about Doug Peterson getting fired today.
What? Dude, I did not know that. What happened?
You didn't?
What?
Yeah, Doug Peterson got fired.
Doug Peterson got fired?
Yeah, he got fired. He got fired today.
Ooh, damn. What the fuck are they going to do? That's hilarious.
I heard rumors that they were going to trade him as a coach, and then they just fired his ass.
Yeah, that's a better warm-up, man. Oh, shit. We'll talk about Deshaun Watson the whole show as we go through all these playoff teams who need quarterbacks. But, dude, the Eagles get rid of Doug Peterson, Super Bowl winning coach. So let me just go through, okay? You ready for this? I've been thinking about this, and I had no idea this happened, so these numbers are off the head. The Panthers had their Super Bowl run in 2015. Went 15-1, Ron Rivera Coach of the Year. 2016, Dan Quinn Falcons went to the Super Bowl. Okay, Ron Rivera was fired last year. Dan Quinn was fired this year. So they were fired the same amount of time after reaching a Super Bowl. Doug Peterson won the Super Bowl the year after that, and he is already fired. I have hated everything Peterson did this year, but that is still surprising to me that you fire a Super Bowl winning head coach
that soon after winning.
Oh, does that mean they want to keep Wentz?
I have no idea what it means, man. I know that it had a lot to do with him not really agreeing with other people that help run the Eagles, and so he had some issues with some things they wanted. He wanted to do it his way, and they weren't down with that. So yeah, I was pretty surprised to see he got fired. Do I think it's warranted after this season? I would say that yeah. I mean, without a doubt, he could have got fired
for sure.
Am I surprised? Absolutely.
But Howie Roseman, that's their GM. He's still there, right? The GM's there.
I think so.
Okay. Yeah, so they threw him under the bus. And then they also they suckered him because, okay, so let's go back to this last game now. I didn't want to talk about this Philly game, but here we are. Man, I love how warm-ups just always get us straight into our shit. It works out. Okay, so when you go back to that game that they tanked or whatever versus the Washington team, is this the problem that they're talking about? Does Peterson not want to go forward with Jalen Hurts? Is it less about Wentz? Is it more about he doesn't think Hurts is the dude?
I don't know if he knows who the dude is.
Well, even so, the Eagles brass could be like, we're moving forward with Hurts. We want to see what we got. And Peterson could be like, it ain't it. I want to look for another quarterback. But if you look at their roster, if they can't get rid of Wentz, they have to keep Hurts. And even if they can get rid of Wentz, they're still probably going to have to pay.
You know, what's crazy is, I look at articles about Doug Peterson being fired, and I found one from the Philly Inquirer, and it's a column, and it basically just says, you got to blame Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie for the Eagles' mess, not Doug Peterson. So I think other people realize it's not just him, that it's a clash of heads going on right now on what they want to move forward with, and I can't blame Doug Peterson for not putting 100% faith in Jalen Hurts because, yeah, he's shown flashes, but I don't know if he is equipped to lead a team all around. I think he's missing some pieces. And so I wouldn't blame him for trying to, I'm not going to say tank, but he definitely did.
Well, that's the thing. Did they sucker his ass? Because the GM is who really is going to want him to tank more than anyone. And the coach, if the coach isn't going to be back next year, the coach is going to try to win that game.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he's going to try to do. I'm going to win with less talent. He's not thinking about next year's pick. He could give a shit.
Man, I don't know. I don't understand it. But yeah,
I think it goes into the what is it? The disease of me. I think that's Pat Riley, his idea. When you win, everyone thinks they did it. That seems about right. And let's go back to the Eagles. They had Andy Reid forever, and they finally decided that just winning without winning a Super Bowl wasn't enough. You get Chip Kelly. That goes well for like 2 seconds. Blows up in your face.
That was a real short experiment.
Oh, yeah. It worked for a second. Then you hire Andy Reid's assistant, Doug Peterson. You win a Super Bowl, and now you're done with him.
It definitely it seems like a premature firing. It's a firing I would have made if I was in charge, but it does seem premature in terms of pure record that Doug Peterson has in Philly. But yeah, I would have probably made the same call.
We're going to go through all the teams that are a contender to get Deshaun Watson, but before we get to the games, let me just say, the latest reports are saying these are the leading teams, and I think it's way too early to tell, and I don't think he'll actually be traded. But it seems like he really does want out. Long, can you tell why he was upset? Why Deshaun Watson has been upset with his management?
Because it sucks.
Because it sucks.
I mean,
he
He had how many years under O'Brien that was garbage?
Well, Chris Mortensen had a tweet with some specifics, and this is like beyond rumor because it's Chris Mortensen. Okay, this is a real NFL reporter. Okay, who fought cancer.
Yeah.
Damn it. Okay, and this is his tweet. Reports about Deshaun Watson's unhappiness with Houston Texans are accurate, and sources close to the QB say he is still angry about teams' insensitivity to social justice, including hiring practices after the franchise failed to interview Chiefs OC Eric Bieniemy this past week.
Yes, sir.
And this ownership group, the owner, I don't know their name. Fuck them. Who cares? They're owners. They're rich. I don't care. The owner that, well, not fuck them. The guy died, but their owner died recently. But in a meeting with all the owners a few years ago, referred to the players as we can't let the prisoners run the prison. He didn't say the asylum. He said the prison. Which, you know, that's pretty racially charged. And his son now owns the team. This, to me, makes it beyond valid because if a player is upset about the roster, in football especially, the players just have such little leverage. It's like, okay, they're probably not going to trade him. But this seems to really have affected Deshaun Watson beyond can we win or not to who he is. And if you've heard anything about what Deshaun Watson is and represents, that matters to him. That's not some cliche shit. Like I think he really wants out.
They didn't listen to the search team they put together to find the GM. Based on reports, they said that if they would have listened to what they said, they would have hired Omar Khan from Pittsburgh. Instead, you hire Nick Cassiero and make him one of the 3 highest paid GMs in the league.
Which, look, we don't fucking know if it's a good hire or not. Even Deshaun Watson doesn't know. But the fact that you're not consulting him when he is your franchise.
Right. I mean, your old franchise player, J.J. Watt, is old.
And not a quarterback.
Right.
And they've even pissed off J.J. Watt. So where is the funnest place for Deshaun Watson to go?
Pittsburgh.
All right.
For me.
Okay.
For me.
Right now.
You asked the most fun.
I know.
That's
We're
what
gonna
I'm
get
thinking.
into it. I think
because you gonna say Carolina.
Well, that is the funnest place you could go for everybody. But to be fair, right now, according to reports, the front running teams, and I don't really think this means anything, like I said, are Miami, the 49ers, and New England.
Miami has the most leverage to give for him.
Yeah, and they're talking about Tua and picks to get him. So
right. They have the most leverage. It makes the most sense in my head. I don't see the 49ers.
If the 49ers could do it, that's terrifying because Kyle Shanahan will figure out a way to run the ball. Their defense is going to be straight. If you're the 49ers,
also,
I think you got to give up like one of your good young players a whole bunch of picks, and do the Texans want Jimmy Garoppolo?
Right. That's my thing is, are they going to want Garoppolo? Because he has a pretty big contract to not be that good.
If the Niners do it, I think they're going to have to – I don't know. And then New England, I don't care what New England can offer.
You can't do that.
You cannot do that. I'm glad we agree. I'm pretty sure.
It's illegal, right? Like, it's not allowed.
You can't give Bill Belichick Deshaun Watson. Although, would be pretty formidable opponent to the Chiefs as far as fun goes. Not for us as fans, for our teams. But if it's New England, Deshaun Watson versus Mahomes and Andy Reid, I'm pretty cool with that.
Also, if New England's going to do this, but I think they're going to take some hits on defense if they were to do that, because they're going to lose. You can't sign Stephon Gilmore, which I don't think they're going to sign him in the offseason anyway.
He's got one more year.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, I don't think they're going to re-up him.
No, I think he's going to be on the trade market probably.
Yeah, I think he's definitely, and he might be in part of a package to get Deshaun. And, I mean, I don't think they have any hope of re-signing him. But you're gonna take some hits elsewhere, and also they're not really deep at receiver. Now there are a lot of good receivers coming up on the free agent market this year,
and of course in the draft, but they have no picks. But that's another reason why they want to trade, or they would think about.
Because I mean, you got, in terms of free agent receivers, you got Juju, you got Chris Godwin, Allen Robinson,
Curtis Samuel.
Curtis Samuel's up there. I mean, there are receivers out there for them to grab if they want to grab one.
And we're not even thinking about the older guys who are on one-year deals too.
Right,
Antonio Brown or somebody like that. Receiver to me is it's crazy. Like New England, I don't understand how they don't have any talent receiver because I feel like there's a lot of depth at that position of talent, right?
Right.
Yeah, let's move on because I know we're going to keep bringing up Watson as we hit these other teams, man. But one more thing about the Miami possibility is they're probably going to include the number 3 overall pick in this trade, which should be the Texans' pick. So they're just going to get their pick back.
And I said this the other day when we talked about this briefly. You're trading back the pick that you got rid of to get an offensive lineman to protect the quarterback that you're putting in the package to get your pick back.
Right. Yeah, man. I think the best option for the Texans, if I was the Texans,
the Jets.
It's any team that you're getting someone who is not Deshaun Watson, but will be your quarterback of the future and picks. Okay. So the first game of divisional weekend, super divisional weekend. I don't know. We called this super wild card weekend because there was more games. That was weird. So divisional weekend. The first game is Saturday at 4:35 Eastern. These times are weird. Warning: these times are weird. 4:35 Eastern. Rams at Packers. We assume Goff is going to continue to play. Any chance for the Rams in this one?
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
There's always a chance.
I was
It's
definitely
professional
impressed with their
football.
win versus Seattle. I'm not really surprised. Did that say more about Seattle, though?
Yeah, I think it does. I think it's definitely more of a statement to the fact that Seattle, while a good team, was not a complete team.
Did you watch Seattle and think of any other team when you watch them? Because I think of your team. Not necessarily for strategy point, but your offense is so damn frustrating because it's so stagnant. It's like nothing is happening. You're running 2 yards into the line of scrimmage, incomplete passes, quarterback's in pressure, and then all of a sudden it's like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's run some hot routes here. And by hot routes, I mean the Madden version, not real hot routes. Okay. Let's just do a little no huddle and boom, boom, boom. It looks like the best offense in the world with great
Why
elite
weren't we
receivers.
doing that before?
It doesn't make sense to me. I'm sure there are reasons for it, but to me, both of these teams, Seattle especially, you gotta get a new offensive coordinator.
It seems like there are certain teams that they script their first however many plays, and maybe their first 2 drives, and we're one of those teams that we script our first 2 drives and they never work.
As opposed
at least not this season.
As opposed to teams. And this is going to surprise you with the team I'm about to say. As opposed to teams that always score at the beginning on their first drive and they never score. The Jets this year had a lead on about every team because they scored on like all their first drives. They got a field goal or a touchdown.
They script a good first drive or two, and then they can't adapt.
Right. Adjustments.
Whereas we do the exact opposite.
Exactly. Adjustments are more important, but it's like
when you
slamming
get
your head
behind
into a
28-0.
Right.
Sorry, I keep going back to that game.
We'll get there.
But
We'll
no,
get there.
I do think that. Again, I think that the Seahawks are a good team. They're not complete. They were missing a little bit. I mean, early on in the season, it looked like their defense was missing, and then later on in the season, the defense picked it up, and it seemed like the offense was having problems. And yeah, it's just hard. It's hard. I mean, early on in the season, Pittsburgh's defense was killing it, and we couldn't stop the Browns in the first quarter. So I mean, it happens. It happens to teams. We were running the ball great in the first half of the season, and then the second half we fell off. You know, it happens. You never really know what the team is going to be at the end of the season due to injuries, and this year in particular due to COVID.
These are excuses. It's bad coaching. Let's just be honest, man. Tom, you want to keep throwing the Steelers in there, so I'm going to exclude Tomlin from this, and Pete Carroll, I guess. But to me, this is coaching of like why is something there at the beginning of the year and then it's complete and it's not there at all, and like we haven't found any ways to score.
It's definitely a coordinator issue.
When you have elite talent on offense, especially at the quarterback position, you got to find more ways to score, man.
Right.
When you're spending that much money on your quarterback, like I don't know. Especially Seattle's always had problems with their offensive line, so that's
I definitely think it's an offensive coordinator issue.
But to me, rank to me, Long, the coaches in the NFC West, 1 to 4. Where's Pete Carroll on that now?
If you're talking about head coaches only,
So
I mean, he's up there.
Out of the NFC West. So you're talking about McVay? Who's better?
That's rough.
So McVay made the playoffs his first year, lost the Super Bowl his second year, 9-7, missed the playoffs, and then this year, all with Jared Goff.
I guess McVay's better.
Okay, Kyle Shanahan is better.
Well, Kyle
Shanahan. Okay, so he's better than Cliff Kingsbury. So he's the third best coach in the division,
which is crazy. And I guess I'm just jaded because he is a Super Bowl winning coach.
I love Pete Carroll.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, like, when you think of Pete Carroll, you're like, oh, he's been successful in Seattle. But I guess looking at what they have there, I mean, even Cliff Kingsbury's looked good this year as a coach. I mean, I don't think he's better than Pete Carroll, but I mean, yeah, I guess he is third.
Yeah, it was crazy when I really thought about that. If you're a Seahawks fan, don't worry, you still have Russell Wilson, and Pete Carroll has shown some ability to adapt. Okay, your team has changed from start to finish, so I think an offensive
You're not the Legion of Boom anymore.
No, not at all.
You're not focusing on winning with the Legion of Boom. You're focusing on winning with a more balanced football team. And yeah, I think offensive coordinator is something they need to look into.
Yes, or even, if they don't want to do that, which they should, get a better offensive line coach. And look at this.
Yeah.
Look, I'm about to throw some offensive line coach knowledge out here, Lauren. I've been doing my shit. All right. What's his name though? Callahan from the Browns, the offensive line coach. Do you remember him? Because that dude was the head coach of the Raiders when they went to the Super Bowl last.
What?
And lost to Gruden. He's the guy who took over for Gruden. And this guy has been an offensive line coach for so long after that. Like, he's really good at that. Okay? He's really good at offensive line. So get that dude. Okay? I think that position matters a lot with coaching, but fuck do I know. Long, what position did you play?
I played offensive line.
Okay, so how important is coaching?
I mean, it's pretty important. I mean, so we went to South Point High School.
So you had to block. Who did you have to block in your practices?
Jadeveon Clowney.
How'd that work out?
It didn't.
How long you played?
A couple weeks. I got tired of getting yelled at because they're like, "You got to stop him." I'm like, "How the fuck I'm supposed to stop this man? This man's 6'7" running a 4.4."
So
unofficial 4.4.
So coaching wouldn't have helped you then?
Who knows? Maybe the coach could have taught me how to cheat.
Okay. I think real quick before we move off this Rams-Packers game, most interesting part of this game to me, I want them to have a camera only on Jalen Ramsey and Devontae Adams, right?
I think Jalen Ramsey is arguably the best corner in the league.
He's the best of this generation. I'm obviously picking the Packers. It would be quite an upset if Jared Goff.
I wouldn't hate the upset as long as they wore different uniforms.
Yeah.
If they come in there with the bone and blue pants, get out of here with that shit. Wear the full bone color. Wear those little cream off-white colors that you call bone, and wear the pants with it. Don't mix and match with the blue pants. Get that shit out of here, and just wear all the off-white.
Okay, and then the night game Saturday, Ravens, Bills. I
want the Bills to win so bad.
Is this a Ravens hatred thing or a Bills love thing?
It's a combination of the two. I don't know why, but the Bills have grown on me over the past few years. I'm happy Stephon Diggs got someone throwing to him that will actually put the ball on him. Yeah, and maybe it's because Josh Allen has some things about him that remind me of a young Ben Roethlisberger, where he might not make the best decision all the time. He might try to do too much, but it's fun to watch, man.
I think so. This must be our connection point here with this team, Long. I thought it was because Josh Allen was quarterback of your fantasy football team, Dalvin and the Chipmunks. But he reminds us both of our quarterbacks, because he reminds me of the Super Bowl MVP, or not the Super Bowl MVP, the MVP,
the league
Cam
MVP.
Newton. What's going to go missed is that this game was really close, was really actually a good game. The Colts-Bills. Colts-Bills was a really good game. And Josh Allen almost fucked that up.
Two things almost fucked that up. Josh Allen and the refs.
Dude, what is a fumble? If you missed it at the end of this game.
That was a fumble, man.
The game was all but sealed. The Colts were driving down 3. They completed a pass. I think it was on 4th down, maybe. I think it was 4th down.
It was either 4th or 3rd. Yeah, it was late.
Well, they caught it. Guy dives to catches it. As he gets up, another player, the Bills player, comes and punches the ball out. Me and Long, as we see it,
it's a fumble.
It was a fumble because the guy was down when he caught it. He got up off the ground, and then the guy tackled and
then
the
ball. The defensive player made contact. The defensive player did not make contact when there was a knee on the ground, when there was a forearm on the ground. The only thing on the ground was his feet.
I did not understand that, but I also didn't understand the Colts' decision-making on that last drive. It was rough, man. Or just the play calls, I guess. They ended up having to chunk a Hail Mary with Phillip Rivers, who couldn't even get it to the end zone. Lost by 3. But the play for Josh Allen that I was like, oh, I thought we were past this, man. He took a sack late in that game where he just ran around and he was still trying to make a play out of it instead of just take the sack, and he fumbled. Luckily, his offensive lineman dove on it. They lost
But
about
you lost
20
like
yards.
20-something yards.
Right. Kicks them out of field goal position. There's no way they can get a first down. They have to give it back to the Colts, and gave them a chance. But
gave him a chance to win with a field goal.
So do you trust Josh Allen more or less after that game than going into it?
About the same. It's about the same for me.
I think it's going to work out where that kind of he got over that hump.
Yeah, I mean, he's like, okay, I fucked up. I'm not going to do that again. At least it'll be fresh in this game. I mean, because you're going to need it, because the Ravens' defense, at least their defensive front, is stout.
They match up well with the Bills, actually. I mean, the Bills are still a great offense, but just the corners that the Ravens have are going to allow them to play some different defenses.
It's going to be hard to run the ball.
Yeah, and it's always hard to run the ball for the Bills, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
They're just going to have to get ahead, and the Bills' defense is going to have to show up, and we'll see. They're just going to have to hope they can stop the run, which is really hard because the Ravens' running scheme, it's not just that Lamar Jackson is really great and their running backs are really good with J.K. Dobbins. It's the scheme, it's the offensive linemen, it's the way they can slash to the outside. They've got the most explosive running game I've ever seen. Explosive. 2-minute drills, sometimes they'll just run the ball, and it'll work. This is going to be a really good game, man. The Bills are currently favored by 2.5, according to my book, which I kind of think is low. I think it should be 3. There are fans allowed there in Buffalo.
They're going to be jumping through tables?
They do it before, yeah.
Buffalo by 60.
Regardless, in the AFC, though, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Because on Sunday at 3:05, this is the oddest time, 3:05 Eastern. Okay, 3:05.
It's 3 o'clock game.
No other game this season started at 3 o'clock Eastern.
I know.
Okay. All right. So it's Browns-Chiefs. Okay. So we're basically guaranteed to get rather Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson versus Patrick Mahomes. The Browns are 10-point dogs already.
Here's my thing. If the Browns can get out and do what they did to Pittsburgh and get ahead 28, they'll still lose by 6.
Damn.
We've seen the Chiefs do it before.
If the Chiefs snap the ball over Patrick Mahomes' head and give him a touchdown immediately.
Yep.
Look, I like the Browns more than a lot of people have this year. I definitely picked the Steelers last week because of the COVID stuff. It definitely scared me off. It was like, oh, well, I see how it is.
Yeah.
But the Browns have a really good team. They have incredible offensive line. That's so important.
Here's my thing is, as a Steelers fan, I'm supposed to hate the Browns, but I don't.
Their uniforms are low-key.
Because I like Baker. I like Baker Mayfield.
Let's talk about
I like Jarvis Landry.
Let's talk about Baker real quick. Okay. The biggest criticism of Baker Mayfield. What is it? What do you think it is from the media?
I think a lot of people think he might be immature.
Immature, okay. The thing I hear the most, commercials. We see him every commercial break on this progressive commercial. This my house. Why does that matter? What does that say about him?
Let that man get his bank.
Dude, how many NFL players do commercials? A lot. A lot.
Cam Newton used to sell me Greek yogurt.
Exactly. Dak Prescott is literally taking a nap just as much. He does this little bed commercial and whatever with his broke leg. Okay, so
Peyton Manning made up a whole jingle with Brad Paisley.
I mean, come on. Was Michael Vick in his own commercial? That was a dope commercial with the roller coaster.
Was that you remember the Michael Vick Experience commercial?
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah,
the roller coaster.
Yeah.
At first, you gave me a look like Peter was listening to some shit. But no, look, I don't get that criticism, man, because it's just saying that Baker Mayfield got a really successful commercial. If you notice but
hold on. No one says anything about all the Head and Shoulders commercials.
Patrick Mahomes.
With Patrick Mahomes in them.
And Patrick Mahomes has the haircut commercial.
Right.
Well, obviously he's Patrick Mahomes doing his damn thing.
Aaron Rodgers got the discount double check bullshit going on for years.
Juju was doing Pizza Hut commercials before he was really good. He wasn't even that good yet.
I don't understand why they won't let this man just make his money.
But here's the thing, man. Because even Frank Kaminsky did local commercials for McAllister's Deli in Charlotte when he played for the Hornets. So why are we mad that Baker's commercials are more successful? Let me bring these sports people behind the curtain along. Let's tell them
how the man grabbed his nuts. The man grabbed his nuts one time on national television, and people got pissed.
Man, if I had a nickel for every time I did that, not on national television. No, it's a national thing. That I would be okay with. But I just want, we are the thespian show. So let's explain to these sports people how the fuck a commercial works. Every time a commercial plays on your screen, it's actually been recorded earlier. And then they play it.
He's not leaving the field to go make that commercial right then and there.
Right.
His commercial is better than Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Rodgers can't act, but he tries so hard.
Oh man, he's rough. Yeah, at least Baker has some chops with that. And if you're like an actor or a comedian and you get a progressive commercial that's about to play that many times, that's a lot of money, man. Good job, dude. They're playing your commercial a lot. That's awesome. And all these commercials, they're like, oh, there's so many ones. There's a lot of different ones at the same place. If it's at the same place.
He got progressive. He got the Hulu Sports one that he sent a video of his face in for him whenever they were in quarantine.
That was creepy.
But it was funny.
But a lot of people did that. He wasn't
right. I don't have a problem with it.
Saquon Barkley's not even playing. He did it. But one more thing, like I said, bring them behind the curtain. They probably filmed all of these commercials, the progressive commercials at the stadium,
in like a week,
if not one day.
Right.
So calm the fuck down, everybody. Just judge him what he does on the field. Oh, sorry, that's been annoying me. But he's about to get whooped by Patrick Mahomes, and I promise you, people are only going to talk about how bad Baker is in that game, even though it's kind of a miracle they're there.
I mean, they were putting in guys that Baker met in the locker room that day to play offensive line for him versus Pittsburgh.
Right.
He literally said, I met the guy in the locker room, shook his hand, and now he's on the field blocking for me.
Now, even if the Browns win, which they won't, we're still guaranteed. Like I said, we're guaranteed a great AFC Championship matchup because Baker Mayfield was the number 1 overall pick the same year that what 2 quarterbacks came out of the draft? Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen.
I'm assuming, yeah.
Yeah. So if your argument is he was number 1 in the draft and he isn't the best quarterback, that's fine. But those 2 guys, come on, man. Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, come on, dude. But Long, this is the time to talk about your Steelers now that we're at the Browns. tell me or tell our audience what you were telling me last night about what you want to happen.
Ben's got to retire. If he doesn't retire, he's going to cost us so much next year.
You don't want wait. So you don't want him to just why don't you want him to for you guys to get rid of him? Can you like trade him?
Who's going to pick up that contract? He's due $40+ million next year.
Oh, so it's not about you being sad that he would play for another team. It's not about that.
No. It's a business, dog. I'm sorry. Like it's a business.
See, for me, when Cam was cut, that was sad. But we all know
I was ready. Hold on, but I was ready to cut Ben Roethlisberger's ass when Dennis Dixon was playing all right.
You were.
Let's understand that.
Yeah, Dennis not the most likable person.
I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, but I've never once owned a Ben Roethlisberger jersey. My ass still got a Cordell Stewart jersey.
Yes. Bring him back.
But like, here's my thing: is like Ben's got to retire because if not, he's going to cost us almost $45 million, if not more, next year. And if we cut him, he's going to cost us $22 million in dead cap space for a player we don't even have. And we still have to re-sign guys like Bud Dupree. We're gonna have to try to re-sign Juju. We got to try to re-sign Cam Sutton and Mike Hilton. We've got to get rid of some of that contract money that he's due. And we can't do that because no one's going to trade for Ben Roethlisberger. No one wants to pick up a $40+ million quarterback on a contract on a quarterback that's going to be 38 years old and doesn't want to get hit at all. So not everyone are the Indianapolis Colts.
You talked about Watson for you guys. What do you think is the most realistic route? Give me a realistic thing that you could see happening where Ben is not your starter. Who would be the starter? And I know you're not going to say Mason Rudolph.
Hell no. I don't think we have a chance to get Watson unless we pull off some miracle trade with all of our future picks. Because we don't have a lot of capital that the Texans are going to want in terms of players.
And I think in general, as rough as it is now, it's still 51% he doesn't even get traded.
Right. I think that we might be willing to trade up in the draft just a little bit if we have to. I don't even know that we have to. I think Kyle Trask might fall to late in the first round, and we could go for him. I don't want Mac Jones. Mac Jones is boring to me. I don't think he fits the way we play. But I think there are players in the draft that we could go for. We could even try and go for something crazy like a Jordan Love, but I don't think the Packers are going to want to give that up because I think they're trying to groom someone to take over for Aaron Rodgers. I know the Saints are going to probably try to keep Jameis Winston, but if we are willing to try to go that route, I think we can offer him a contract if Ben doesn't re-sign.
Or that's an option too if Ben does resign.
Right, that's still an option if he does resign.
I mean, not resign.
We also have
stay.
Yeah, we have Sam Darnold, who I think is underrated because of who he plays for. That'd be an interesting reach. If the Jets are trying to get rid of him, we don't really know what the Jets are doing with that number 2 pick.
So do you think you want a draft pick? I mean, obviously you want Watson, but you think the best move is to go through the draft, or do you think it's just less likely to get Darnold?
I would, as a Steelers fan, I would be happy if we do any of the following 3 or 4 things. Pick up a good quarterback mid to late in the draft. Like a Kyle Trask, or I don't know how I feel about that guy from North Dakota State just yet. I don't really know much about Trey Lance, but I would be okay if we drafted
but Carson
Kyle
Wentz
Trask.
isn't making
him
look good anymore.
I would be happy if we found a way to get Sam Darnold, just because I think he's better than the numbers.
But isn't the most likely thing for Pittsburgh, because they're already a contender, to
keep Ben Roethlisberger at starter? I'd want to fucking
other than that. I mean, I think that's the most likely thing too. If he doesn't retire, he's going to stay. But wouldn't they go after an Andy Dalton or a Cam Newton, or I don't know, a Trubisky, one of these guys that are manageable, that might do something better in the Pittsburgh offense? That's an upgrade from Rudolph.
I would rather us go for Kyle Trask in the first round. because I don't like Trubisky. I don't think that he's going to fit us.
I think
Andy Dalton. I think we could sign Andy Dalton as a backup and cut Mason Rudolph's overplayed ass. But I don't think that's the solution. I think we've got to make a decision now, and I don't think that the future has been Roethlisberger. However, if he stays, I still think we got to get a young quarterback now, because I don't know that next year's quarterback class is going to be better than what we have right now. This quarterback class is pretty deep with decent talent. I mean, you have Zach Wilson, you have obviously Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields. You have
I think
Trey
you guys
Lance
will have
kid.
to trade up though.
You got Kyle Trask and Mac Jones. Yeah, but I've seen certain draft predictions where Kyle Trask doesn't go in the first round.
Hey, why don't you guys trade for Teddy Bridgewater?
I'm good, dog.
You know what? Yeah, why don't you we'll take, I don't know, like TJ Watt, give you Teddy Bridgewater. All right. Okay. Well,
yeah, because that's gonna happen.
I could also, I kind of like this idea. Before we'll move on from the Steelers, but Ben stays and you sign Cam and bring him in the red zone, and you guys become a more running team, and Cam is just always there in the red zone.
It would be interesting, and I mean, I don't
Tomlin
know if
would
we get
make
that.
it work.
I don't know if we would get that experimental with our offense, but I would like to see something different. But we got to make a change, regardless. We got to make a change. We either got to pick
The
a new
offensive
quarterback.
coordinator's out. He out no matter what.
I
I'm
would
telling
agree.
you that.
I would agree.
Okay. Chiefs Browns though. Before we move on, as much as I like watching the Browns play, the Chiefs got to keep going. We got to see the Chiefs versus some other teams here. I'm definitely picking the Chiefs there. Okay, so
I think if the Chiefs go out, the NFC oddly becomes much more likely to win the Super Bowl.
oh, definitely, most definitely. The final game on Sunday. The third time is the charm.
Is it the battle of the old boys?
Yeah, man. The old boys, the NFC South. Okay, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, New Orleans Saints. The Saints have smacked them twice this year. The Bucs are playing the best that they have all year, seemingly on offense. Closer game than people expected versus Washington. I say it's a playoff game on the road, so what do you really expect? Washington may have had trouble with quarterbacks, but they weren't that bad. They're still a playoff team.
Washington's defense was really good, and so like I expected that game to be closer.
And Ron Rivera, Bruce Arians, Ron Rivera's a better coach. Sorry.
And then you got the Saints in that Nickelodeon game that was boring.
That was trash. I'm just going to be honest. The slime was not – it didn't add anything to it. Like the way the cannons were, like I saw slime, but I missed touchdown celebration. So like, that's the most interesting part of the game already. And it was just it was clearly fake. I mean, I know it's CGI. Like it wasn't worth it. I think it was cool to have like something like that, I guess, for kids, but also not cool because there were tons of just really violent hits. Imagine if it was the Rams-Seahawks game was a Nickelodeon game, and the first thing they saw was Wake Forest
getting
boy
decapitated.
Yes, and going to the fucking hospital. What if they saw that? I thought this was the worst game.
Also, in line with that, I mean, you had Prater. Wait, no, but not Prater. Who's the kicker for Saints?
Lutz.
Yeah, you had Lutz. You had Lutz miss a field goal because SpongeBob
with a name
was
like
there.
that. What the fuck do you expect? His name is Lutz. You think he's gonna be the hero?
You had SpongeBob between the posts. Of course, he was gonna miss. But no, I mean that game was boring, and like I didn't learn a lot about the Saints because the Bears did nothing offensively. Yeah,
it's hard to say. Like I know the Saints defense is really good, but the Bears offense have been playing better. That was treacherous. My role player of the week is from this game, so I'll get to it later. I'll say it did not help the Bears to have one of their receivers ejected. Did not help. Saints Bucks though.
I was gonna say I'd rather the Bucks win.
Yeah, I think so.
And I can't stand. I can't stand Antonio Brown.
Look, the Bucs are gonna get what's coming to them. I feel comfortable with that. The Saints, however, if they win this game, I'm like, uh-oh. They might be doing this thing. I cannot have Drew Brees going out with the Super Bowl.
Right.
I just can't have that. The Saints have had horrible karma in the playoffs the past few seasons. And people are like, oh, that's going to...
Which they deserve.
Well, some people think, like Saints fans...
Let's not forget Bountygate.
Exactly. This is my point. You know me. You know this, man. The Saints fans are like, oh, well, it's leading up to this year where we're going to get some good karma. No. Bountygate.
Y'all wasted y'all's good karma.
Bountygate, number one. But really, when they won the Super Bowl... Look, I know Hurricane Katrina had just happened, but that was the luckiest fucking Super Bowl win ever. NFC Championship, Brett Favre had him and threw one of the worst picks when he played for the Vikings, right?
Because they were trying to kill him.
Well. And then, of course, why I say it's the luckiest Super Bowl ever is the beginning of the second half. And what's probably the biggest shock, other than Janet Jackson and Beyonce's halftime performances for very different reasons. But the second half started with quite the bang when the Saints had an onside kick. And they recovered it, and that basically won them the game. That was a difference maker. So, Saints, you're going to suffer again. If Drew Brees wins, beats Tom Brady, do you think people are going to say that he's been better the whole time?
I mean, here's the thing: is Drew Brees has better numbers than Tom Brady for the most part, but Drew Brees ain't got no Super Bowls like that. I mean, he got one.
Yeah.
Tom Brady has as many Super Bowls as every quarterback that started in the playoffs this season. The only way you change that is if you include the one that didn't start that has a Super Bowl, which is of course Nick Foles.
That's always funny. And even his, like you said, his numbers were arguably better for some years, but those teams were pretty bad because they just put all their money into offense. And reminder, Saints, you're way over the cap. You are the most expensive team by a lot this year.
They put money in the defense, but it was typically just whether or not you can kill Brett Favre.
Yeah, that's fucked up. That man's addicted to painkillers. Long, what is your Super Bowl pick now? We have our Elite Eight, I guess. And by the time of our next episode is up, we will know our Super Bowl teams.
I think it's going to be the Chiefs and the Packers.
Okay. Yeah. Those are the one seeds. You're probably right. All right, if it isn't them,
it's the most boring picks.
I think we are guaranteed to have this storyline going into the Super Bowl. This is the GOAT quarterback versus the baby GOAT quarterback.
Yeah, no, I definitely think it's going to be Patrick Mahomes versus one of the best three quarterbacks.
Here's the thing.
Most recent years.
As long as Baker isn't it, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, or Patrick Mahomes. If Josh Allen, because whoever
what you're telling me,
if Lamar or Josh Allen make it out, they will have beaten the other two, and then we'll have propelled into a new tier.
Is there's only one way that this can get messed up, and it's if the Rams make the Super Bowl.
As if the Rams. So there's no way. So we're gonna have Breeze, Brady, or Rodgers as the old GOAT versus probably Mahomes.
And then quietly in the background, or Goff.
Goff versus Baker. Rams, Browns. A Browns Super Bowl would still be good no matter what, right?
Because it's the Browns, man.
Ooh, Cleveland Rams, LeBron. L.A., Cleveland. Ooh.
Here's my thing is I want the Bills to make it simply because the last few times they made it, they really fucked it up. What was it? 3 years in a row they made it to the Super Bowl. 4 years in a row they made it to the Super Bowl.
That's heartbreaking, man. I couldn't even.
Come on, give them one.
Yeah, that
man.
should count.
Just give them one.
Right? Damn, like you can't even.
You go back to back to back to back and you can't win one. Come on.
How would it have been?
You have that
if,
one time where you fumbled the ball on the 1 yard line about to
if
score.
Frank Reich had come in there as the person who led the biggest comeback in Bills playoff history, who helped get them to one of those Super Bowls, if he had been the one to come in there and fuck this one up. If it's not the Chiefs, I know we both think the Chiefs are going to win because beat them, you guys. There's no way I'm going to pick against them until someone beats them. Bills or Ravens, though, out of those two, not who's going to win that matchup, but between those two, who's more likely to beat the Chiefs?
I don't know. I think the Bills, because they're wilder.
It's really hard to say because you want to say, well, the Ravens can run the ball, and then that's different.
But you know what you know what you're getting with the Ravens, and like with the Bills, you really don't know.
Yeah,
like you don't offensively, you don't know what's coming out there.
Obviously, the thought is, well, they're just like mini Chiefs, though. Offensively, it's just like if it's a shootout, who are you going to pick? The Chiefs.
But their defense is, I think, better.
It's hard to say. This year they have really fallen off, but I really like Sean McDermott as a coach, and I think he can game plan into some good stuff.
But you forget that the last week against the Dolphins, how many points did the defense put up? They scored like 3 touchdowns. So like the Bills defense can show up out of nowhere sometimes.
Yeah, they can make plays for sure. If they're getting pressure on the quarterback, it's great. That's the whole thing with that scheme. If they get a little pressure, it's going to be great. But you're talking about Tua, the past 2 games, Tua and Phillip Rivers. Okay.
Yeah, versus I know. But I only say that because the Bills defense won me my fantasy football playoffs. Because I picked them up instead of the Steelers the last 2 weeks.
Well, that should wrap up our NFL anyway, and that brings me straight into our final update of the year from those Dalvin and the Chipmunks, man.
From the 2-time league winning Jonathan Long. I won last year too, but this year with Dalvin and the Chipmunks. Dalvin! I gotta win.
You gotta win 2 years in a row. Man, I didn't think you were going to win this last week, dude.
I did not either. I was missing a lot of players. Dalvin wasn't playing because his dad had passed away. James Robinson was injured. It was rough.
And still managed to pull it out. You know, you're kind of like the Browns, man. Before that laugh, he winced. He did not like it. He Carson winced.
All right, so we got to go to phones, right?
Hello. No one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
Yeah, got a few calls in
It looks
today.
like we have a
voicemails.
first-time caller. And it says from Ohio. We'll see.
All right, let's play. Do you think this is rubbing it in your face? Or is this like a college football fan, you think?
If it's rubbing in my face, then like let him have it. It's been forever.
Yeah, if it's just a Browns fan, yeah, I guess we got to give it to him. All right, let's play it.
Hey guys, I'm this Carter from Cleveland, Ohio. Well, I'm like right outside Cleveland, Ohio, but from Cleveland, Ohio, and I just gotta say I was really nervous entering the game last night, and now I'm on top of the world, man. We beat the Steelers, and I knew we were gonna win, but I was really worried that maybe we wouldn't be able to win. But at first we came out there, and I was certain. I was like, this is a team of destiny. You know, we're gonna win a Super Bowl this year. That's what I thought. I mean, I really feel that way. And then all of a sudden we just blew it. We were about to blow it, and I was so worried. And then it was like, no, we got this, man. You're a destiny, you know. And the Cavs are off to a really great start this year. Larry Nance Jr. looks like an MVP. We'll probably come down back to earth, but you know, maybe not. Maybe he's MVP. You know, Sexton and Garland, Sexland. You know, we got a really great backcourt. Or the Cavs, they'll probably come back down to earth. But or we're gonna beat the Lakers. This is team of destiny, Cleveland Cavaliers, and of course I'm excited tonight. You know, there's no way Ohio State's gonna lose. IO. I mean, Alabama's pretty good too. Maybe not though. Maybe not. I mean, What do you guys think? You think we're gonna win? Of course we're gonna win. We're gonna win. Idaho, take that, Alabama. Pretty good though. Alabama's pretty good. What do you guys think? I'll hang up and listen. It's Carter.
He didn't really sound confident in any of that.
That poor man.
I think Ohio's lost all confidence since LeBron and Urban Meyer left.
I mean, look, we know better than anyone when a man abandons you.
Wow.
Just kidding. Our moms, they were winners. They weren't the losers the Cleveland Browns and the rest of these Cleveland franchises have been. Look, man, I'm happy for you as a Browns fan. It was weird, though, for me. The few Ohio State fans I've run into in the past, I guess they haven't been Browns fans too, or they don't talk about that part of their life, maybe.
Well, here's the reason I think we never hear this is because those seasons don't typically overlap this late because the Browns never make it here. And
True.
So now they're overlapping and he's just really torn.
Damn, so true. That's a great point. And I like that he threw the Cavaliers in there because no one else knew that shit about the Cavaliers. Who gives a fuck?
No, I did not.
No, I did know Larry Nance Jr. was balling because I played against him in fantasy. And I was like, what? Okay. We have 2 more voicemails. I recognize one number here.
Oh, God.
Let's go ahead and play Bo. So if you guys haven't been listening to other episodes, Bo has been a frequent caller. He's called every episode, so I guess he is a role player now.
We have a fan.
Look, and Bo is, I guess, a fan of us. More importantly, he's a fan of the Cowboys and the
I don't think that's
Alabama.
important right now, but the Alabama part's pretty important.
I hope he talks about the damn Cowboys. Okay, well, let's go to Bo first.
Hey, this is Bo here, and I just want to talk about a couple things. And I'm all geared up. It's about time for me to watch that Alabama football. I mean, Alabama about to win another national title, but I can't even focus on the damn football because these damn insurrectionists going down to the fucking Capitol. I mean, I'm trying to watch football, and all I hear about is Donald Trump's dumb ass. I mean, everyone in Alabama's like, ooh, Donald Trump, yeah. And you got me over here just trying to enjoy, Roll Tide, and I got to fucking worry about whether or not I'm going to get shot up for having a Biden-Harris damn sign out my yard. This is ridiculous. I'm trying to be a good fan and a good Alabamian, and I got Rudy Giuliani trying to call my senator calling the wrong damn number. I mean, what the hell's going on? What does this country turn into? Bunch of damn idiots. Anyway, back to the damn football. I just want to talk about some Roll Tide. I mean, you got the whole NFL draft coming out of our damn team. You got Devontae, you got Mac, you got all these boys. You got Certain. I mean, what you need? Well, you Najee Harris. I mean, there's no way them Ohio State boys is going to find a way to beat us. All right, and I will put that on my dog. I will put that on Bear Bryant. I will put it on him. If we lose tonight, I will put Bear Bryant up for adoption at the local shelter. Please, God, don't maybe put him up for adoption at a local shelter. I love that damn dog. Anyway, and yeah, Cowboy season is over. The Cowboy season is over. Oh, my God. We almost made it to the playoffs. That's all I'm saying. We almost made it. We were that close. I bet you we would have done better than them Washington football teams. Thank God they finally changed that racist name. Anyway, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for consistently taking my phone calls. I know that none of y'all are Alabama fans back where you are, but I'm gonna get off here and go watch the game and eat some wings and one more last time, Roll Tide.
Long. I am pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
At Bo's political commentary.
Yeah. It was not where I thought he was gonna land.
So, Bo, let me look. We don't know anything about your family life, Bo, but I didn't think I was ever gonna say this about you, sir. I hope you got a lot of kids. You need to populate that great state of Alabama that you're talking so
Alabama
much about,
needs
sir.
you.
And if you guys didn't see this Rudy Giuliani story, it's pretty funny. And if you didn't know this, It is true. A former Auburn head coach is now is it governor? Governor of Alabama?
It's governor, senator, some shit like that.
He's important. Okay. But look, we've had an Ohio State, and there's an Alabama fan. I know we're going to see the game tonight, so this is moot. But just to have it on record, I'm picking Alabama, Bo. Even if it's just for your dog.
I don't want you to lose Bear Bryant, man.
That added a lot of stakes to tonight's game for me personally.
It did.
Because he only calls the show for us. He only made that guarantee to us. No one else is going to hold him accountable for that, I don't think.
Just us.
Please, Bama, win this game. Oh, my gosh. He did say adoption, though, so are one of us going to have to take this dog?
Hell no.
Shit. I don't know.
They got shelters or some shit up there.
Hey, you're closer, so all I'm saying, you're closer, you're going to take it.
Oh, God.
Better hope Bama wins. Okay, let's get to this. Let's get to this last voicemail.
Yeah, it looks like we got is it Lawrence? A New York phone call?
Oh my God, Broadway's calling.
Broadway. I don't know what this take is. I don't know what this take's going to be, but
they want to give us our own sports talk show on Broadway.
ESPN. It's ESPN New York.
That's it. I'm telling you, man. This is Broadway. Let's check it out.
Hey, look, this is Lawrence from New York, and I'm calling about my G-men, my Giants. Look, I'm pretty pissed about the Washington team throwing the damn game. I mean, the Eagles throwing the damn game. You know, we really deserve to be in the playoffs. What you guys think? All right.
Here's my point. Giants fans, you have no fucking argument. You're 6-10. You were trash. You do not deserve to make the playoffs. I don't care if it's
that whole division let themselves finish that way.
Yeah, man. You have no argument about the playoffs at all. Bettors have an argument. The fact that the Eagles tanked that game. Bettors are the ones that could be mad.
but in the Giants fans' defense and in Lawrence's defense, Daniel Jones is faster than Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. Even on Lamar Jackson's run yesterday, not as fast as Daniel Jones. Still not as fast. I'm not saying that
Jones got the burners.
This is not my opinion, everyone. This is like how fast they were measured going. Okay. Daniel Jones, man, the Giants definitely don't need to be in this Deshaun Watson race, right? They've got Daniel Jones.
Has Madden updated Daniel Jones' speed to 150? Playing with Daniel Jones is playing with that old Mike Vick in Madden.
Oh. Daniel Jones should be a receiver.
Oh, man.
All right. Cool. Let's get to role players of the week and get out of here.
Right. All right. Role player of the week. I have a bit of a different one. Mine is a role player of the week that is tentative.
What you mean?
If this person does the right thing, I will award them role player of the week. If they do what I worry that they may do, they can kiss my ass.
Interesting.
My role player of the week is Bill Belichick. Only if he turns down the Medal of Freedom from Donald J. Trump. Because that man should not be allowed to give out anything right now except for his job. He should be able to give that away.
My role player of the week comes from the Nickelodeon game, the Saints Bears. And this guy, he's not that great. As a corner, he's played better. Some would say he's not very good in coverage. But one thing he does well is he gets under the skin of his opponents. My role player of the week is C.J. Gardner-Johnson of the New Orleans Saints. It takes a lot for me to give this to a Saints player. But in the Saints versus Bears previous matchup this season, he agitated Javon Mims, the receiver for the Bears, to a point in which Mims came up from behind him, punched him clean in the side of the face, a.k.a. the side of the helmet. That's always a motivated punch when someone punches you despite you having a helmet on. And Mims was ejected in that game. And in this game on Nickelodeon in the playoffs, Gardner Johnson managed to annoy Anthony Miller, another receiver for the Bears, and he also felt it necessary to throw a punch while Gardner Johnson had a helmet on, and he was ejected.
I'm sorry, when you said that your role player of the week was from the Nickelodeon game, I was hoping it was going to be Nate Burleson.
He's awesome.
Who was, if you didn't watch the Nickelodeon coverage, was one of the commentators for that game, who kept comparing duos on the teams to people like SpongeBob and Patrick. He compared one to Cat Dog. He said you can't have one of these players without the other. And I was like, what are you doing, Nate? What is...
I don't think any of these kids get that. I don't think those shows are still on, are they?
Oh, in the world with a little cat dog. It had a banger. A banger for an opening song.
Man, well, I guess that wraps it up. Good luck, Bear Bryant, the dog. Okay, Lon, let's get out of here, man. Thanks for joining me. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks, everybody, for listening.
Yeah, man.
Follow our Instagram at Role Players Podcast, at Stage to Stream. We're out. Thanks.
Subscribe to this podcast and other podcasts now from Stage to Stream.
An important piece of that team as well. I mean, he put a son of a bitch.